Moving back to what the Prime Minister has been up to. One portion of his big speech to world leaders at the UN General Assembly has made headlines around the world. Boris Johnson takes aim at Kermit the Frog, wrote the Washington Post. Johnson cites Kermit the Frog, wrote the South China Morning Post. Boris Johnson faces up to Kermit the Frog in call for climate action, wrote Dutch paper Die Volkskrant. From Kermit and Miss Piggy, Boris Johnson's climate speech, wrote Austrian paper Die Presse. Boris Johnson quotes Kermit the Frog, wrote Belgian paper Le Soir. And that's just a small selection. The analogy has become a global blockbuster. It's hard to think of a UN speech this week that carried more coverage. The Prime Minister delivered his message with huge panache. So it's easy to... I'm going to quote you a little bit of what Boris Johnson said. He quoted Kermit the Frog, saying, "It's not easy being green." He disagreed. He said it is easy, it's desirable to be green. It was a moment of lightheartedness in that speech, yet the typically professionally miserable, whinging Twitterati in this country were appalled. Some even attempted to mock it, saying foreign leaders wouldn't have heard of Kermit the Frog, which betrays a hugely parochial ignorance of their own. The Muppets have been translated into literally dozens of languages and have been a global phenomenon for over half a century. It's hard to think of a popular culture reference that would have translated better across the world or amongst those world leaders. Of course it's ridiculous. Of course it's silly. Of course it's funny. But like much of what our Prime Minister gets up to, you have to ask the question, is it really that ridiculous? Or is it just a little bit genius? None of Theresa May, David Cameron or Gordon Brown found it particularly easy to generate this kind of publicity for any of their causes. The message, "it's easy," is getting traction. It's been reported in the global press. It's been remembered by world leaders at that General Assembly. And not least, potentially, after some fractious discussions with our French counterparts, raising the words of a frog might not have been the worst thing to do in the world. It seems that Boris Johnson has a unique ability to get his message across, and potentially people should be less miserable about all of that.